A 14-years-old boy was mistaken for an employee of a gas station, by user IDontCareLady. I, 14M, was on my way to my friend's house when I got an urge to use the washroom. Luckily for me I was near a gas station. The employees of the gas station wore a orange polo while I was wearing a red polo. Suddenly as I was entering the washroom a woman in her 40s tapped me in the shoulder. When I looked back, she shouted, "Where do you think you are going?" I replied, "The washroom." She, "It is no time to pee, first fill my car's fuel." I don't. She, "Don't lie and do your job." I am not confrontational, so I tried to walk away, but she chased after me. Not knowing what to do, I hoped on a bus. Even though the bus was chosen in random, its next stoppage was near my friend's house, and as I was sitting in the bus I saw an employee coming towards her. As for the lady, she started to swear and shouted that she will complain to my manager. In short, a lady thought a 14-years-old boy who wore a red polo works for a gas station where the uniform is an orange polo. He does work here, fooled you, by user Imfye. This tale is a little different from the usual. No Karens are involved, nor police, the military, entitled people. But it was most amusing at the time. To set the scene, we have a holiday home in the south of Spain which we have visited for several weeks a year for over 30 years now. Nearby is a wonderful beach restaurant that we go to for lunch about 4 times a week. Over the years we must have been there over 500 times. When we first went, the restaurant was owned and run by an elderly couple, but when they retired, about 20 years ago, their 2 sons and their young daughter took over the business, which they still run today. So to say we know them well would be a considerable understatement. They employ about 6 to 8 other staff, who gradually come and go over the years. The other significant detail is that everybody wears a matching uniform, and they change the uniform, or at least the color scheme, every year. Yesterday was our first visit this year, and the stars aligned for some fun. By complete chance, and just about the first time ever, I turned up wearing exactly the same uniform as the staff, bright orange polo shirt and navy blue shorts. So as we did all the greeting and backslappings and how are you, much fun was made by the 2 brothers of my attire. Without saying anything more, the elder brother Manuel, not his name, disappeared into the kitchen. A minute later a new, to us, waitress appeared, looking flustered and marching over to our table. This was, say, Maria, also not her name, and this was, apparently, her first year working there. She started loudly demanding that I get back to work pronto, and that the boss had told her how lazy I was and was on a final warning. She got very shouty when I started arguing that I didn't work there, and the other customers were greatly enjoying the spectacle. After a couple of minutes Manuel reappeared and rescued me, and explained to her the joke. She went very, very red, and I learned a couple of new NSFW Spanish words. But we're all friends now, and Maria has been properly introduced. And the drinks were free. Update. Wow, quite a spectrum of comments. Some people get it and, it seems, some don't. So to clarify, this is a family business. Everybody is friends, and nobody, Maria included, was offended. This is Spain. The staff work there because they want to and because they enjoy it. It's considered a proper job. Nobody got a big tip out of it because Spain doesn't do tipping. Workers are paid a living wage. Maria did get a big hug off Manuel though. I can thoroughly recommend the Swordfish Medieval Mishap, wholesome by user do_sir_9960. This happened not too long ago at my state's Renaissance Fair. I am a big nerd like most of my friends, so we decided to go to the fair to shake things up. We watched shows, played games, ate food, but most importantly we started to buy pieces of costumes to slowly create our D&D characters from scratch. At one point my friend, we'll call him Bob for this story, wanted to get a very specific hat for his rogue. After traveling to every store in the fair we found a nice little shop near the main entrance for his needs. As Bob is browsing, a man politely taps him on the shoulder and asks, "Hey, do you by chance have this bandana in a smaller size?" Bob turned around to say the usual words, but when the man sees his face he goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you worked here." Bob, being the nice guy he is, says no problem. But what was really cute is that the little boy that the dad was with really liked Bob's costume, so the dad asked for a picture which Bob agreed to and we went our separate ways with the biggest grin on Bob's face I had ever seen. Thank you for the validation, by user Spicer Cosplay. I shop normally and I have been asked if I work at Joann Fabrics, Kohl's, Home Goods, and today it was Home Depot. I have just been really confused as to what it is about me that makes people ask this question, so it was a weird relief to find this Reddit and see it happens a lot. Today, I was wearing one of those gag NASA shirts, and someone at Home Depot asked if I worked there. I kind of struggled to process what he said, and looked down at my outfit, and back up at him, and he pitched a huge fit about me just needing to answer a yes or no question. To which, I tried to be polite and explain my confusion, and he just became more of a toddler than he started with. Luckily there wasn't any physical altercation, but I left wondering just why the heck does this keep happening and how, besides not wearing an apron and name tag, do I make this stop? Made someone a coffee because they insisted I worked at the cafe, by user Petithroai. Edit, I'm 14, meaning that I'm currently not allowed to get a job without parent permission. I don't look older than I am, so that's why I seemed pretty confused as to why he was surprised I didn't work there. I'm not sure what time it was, but there was only a few people in the cafe, and they were somewhat regular customers, so I wasn't really worried about the fact that I was behind the bar since I didn't expect anyone to come up and order. But then, some random dude, maybe late 30s or 40s, barges in and yells rudely for me to make him a black coffee. Also, the other people there were studying, so it's not like it was loud inside. I'm a little bit freaked out, and try to explain that I don't actually work there. He proceeds to get even more angry and flat out says that he doesn't care, he just wants the fucking coffee. Now me, being the doormat I am, just squeaked one sec and ran to the back. I told my cousin what was happening, but she was basically elbows deep in dishwater and soap from cleaning out one of the machines and asked if I could just take his order. So I went back to the bar, took his order, to which he snorted angrily and told me he already said he wanted black coffee. But apparently he actually wanted black coffee with steamed milk, and tried my best to make it well. After he had paid and I'd handed him his coffee, my cousin walked out and he took a moment looking at her uniform, which has the name and logo of the cafe emblazoned on the apron, and just says to me accusingly, "You don't work here." And then just walks out of the shop. I have since stopped hanging out behind the bar, for obvious reasons. Anyways, screw you Dan, you didn't even leave a tip. Also, for context, my cousin works at a small mom and pop cafe and I visit her whenever I'm done with class. I have fairly basic knowledge on how to make coffee. I can use a coffee machine and add cream, sugar, etc., just from observing my cousin, and making it at home myself. I don't blame the guy for assuming I worked there, because being behind the bar when I wasn't really supposed to was 100% my mistake. Hope that clears some stuff up, smiley face.